I'd like to just tell you a little bit more about the lab and how it's going to work. Um, and I will just share the timeline for this with you. So the applications are currently open. If you want to form your own SciArt collaborations, it's open to scientists with a connection to Europe, currently engaged in some kind of research. We're quite open with the interpretation of that. Um, Applications close on the 30th of September. So Nico, if you could put the link into the chat, that would be great. If anyone has any questions, please also put those in the chat to Nico and we'll address them in a minute. After we have selected 18 researchers, we will go through a process of working with each of those researchers on a kind of science communication module, which will take place in October and November. So what we want to do with you then is two things. One is to, first of all, just try and work out with a bunch of media experts, what is it in your research that could potentially excite a broad audience, and then think about, well, what kind of a format could that take? The Institute itself will be split into 3 different schools, sort of roughly encompassing film, immersive and interactive, or art, each with their own head. So Irini being the head of art, as we saw earlier, and Corinne, head of immersive and interactive. And through this kind of ideation process, we will imagine your research as manifesting in each of these formats, and then through a process of sort of discussion and enthusiasm, settle on one of those, place you in a school. So we'll have 6 projects in each school. And then we'll start working with you to get you to the stage where you're able to really talk about the research confidently through that perspective to members of the creative community. And then we'll start going through a process of matchmaking. So this will be in person. So we'll do that at an event where filmmakers or interactive producers or artists actually congregate. So we can do that quite efficiently. And then we will sort of team you up with potential collaborators. And then we'll start developing these ideas online through a number of different modules. So the first phase of development will focus on the concept, sort of how are you dealing with storytelling and character development, and how is this going to be engaging for audiences, and then creating storyboards and mood boards so that we can all agree on exactly the form it's going to take and how compelling that's going to be for audiences. Then we'll start thinking more in terms of market. So this will start taking place next year. How are you going to sort of present this to people who could help support you, whether that's, it could be other festivals, it could be other collaborators, it could be funders. And what are the tools that you need in order to be able to talk about it to these people? So we'll help you create those tools and come up with strategies of how to get the word out there about what it is that you're creating. And then we'll bring you to SILBERSALZ Festival in June, which will be your first chance to actually pitch this to an audience of potential collaborators. So that's the sort of general outline.